Good afternoon, students. Myself Abhishek Parmar. Today I am going to give you in this video basically the strategy how to prepare for the modern Indian history for the civil services examination, both for prelims as well as mains exam. So to begin with, I will firstly tell you about the mains exam. Mains exam, when I say mains exam, means civil services general studies means, and then we will talk about the prelims. So going by the previous year mains questions, GS mains questions, what I have analyzed that in the last 5 years questions basically come from 3-4 predominant themes. Which are those themes? So the first important theme within the modern Indian history for the civil services GS mains exam is questions which are based on personalities. So important personalities you have to prepare, you have to study. For example, Gandhi, Ambedkar, Bose, etc. And when we are talking about these personalities, even in this we can analyze that in these personalities questions will be regarding their role, or you can say contribution to freedom struggle. The second aspect will be their views or their ideologies. And thirdly, difference in their views. Means on what aspects did these personalities, not only these, I have just taken these personalities as an example, on what issues they had differences. For example, it's well known that Ambedkar and Gandhi had certain differences regarding the social upliftment of the Dalits or the depressed classes. Gandhi and Bose had certain differences like political differences, or you can say differences on the basis of socialism. So these things will come under this. So first part is over, means personalities, and within the personalities you have to discuss, you have to read about these things. The second aspect is women. And when I am talking about women, here you have to study a role or contribution by various women leaders, both by foreigners as well as Indian. I am talking about both foreigners and Indian leaders, women leaders. For example, Annie Besant or Margaret Alva Noble, that is Sister Niveta, Sarojini Naidu, Aruna, Asaf Ali, etc. So their role to the freedom struggle, their contribution to the freedom struggle, these things. So when I am talking about the second theme, that is women, then you have to read about the various, not a very detailed you can say answer, but you should know about these personalities, the important personalities like Annie Besant, Margaret Alva Noble, Sister Nivedita, Sarojini Naidu, Aruna Asaf Ali, Sucheta Kriplani. There are so many women leaders. So you have to prepare accordingly. Thirdly, so we were discussing about the second theme, that is women. So in this we have talked about the various women leaders who had contributed to the freedom struggle. The second thing in the same domain, women, issues and debates related to reforms for women. Means, what were the main issues, different opinions when reforms were initiated in the 19th century or even 20th century by the government as well as by the Indian reformers. For example, just for example, if you are not getting this thing, like there were different opinions when the reforms were initiated. All of you know, hopefully, that in the 19th century various reform movement arose. Like one was, say for example, the most dominant personality, like Ram Mohan Roy had initiated reforms. So not only Ram Mohan Roy, there had been movements like by Dayanand Saraswati. So all these leaders who had contributed to the reform among women, and reforms were also initiated by the government, like banning, you can say sati, or you can say providing widows to get the right of free marriage. These things were initiated by the government also. So when these things were initiated, then what were the issues, what were the debate, or on what issues even the Indian themselves started having different opinions. For example, one of the contemporary of Raja Ram Mohan Roy was Radhakant Dev. He did not want that such an aggressive propaganda to be made for the reform of the women, because he was a conservative leader. Even Tilak did not support the Age of Consent Act of 1891. So these things will come under the issues and debates related to reforms for women. And the third, government or any initiatives undertaken for the upliftment among women. What were those initiatives which were taken by the government or any other, you can say, initiative taken by the leaders for uplifting the cause of the women? The third theme, where questions have been repeatedly asked, it's about the Nestal movement. And I will say, Nestal movement try to have a bird's eye view of the freedom struggle. Bird's eye view of the freedom struggle. I will elaborate what does it mean. Now, for example, when you have read the books regarding modern Indian history, you must try to have a bird's eye view of the Nestal movement. Means bird's eye view means here what? That you should have a greater clarity, greater picture. आपको पता होना चाहिए, आपके दिमाग में एक पिक्चर, एक तस्वीर बननी चाहिए रिगार्डिंग नेशनल मूवमेंट की. जैसे सपोज कीजिए, थोड़ा लाइटली बोल रहे हैं, अगर आप कभी प्लेन में, फ्लाइट में ट्रेवल करें, तो जब लैंड होने वाली होती है फ्लाइट, अगर आप विंडो से देखें, तो आपको बहुत छोटे छोटे जो घर हैं, जो मतलब 20 स्टोरी टावर होगी, वो भी आपको बहुत छोटे छोटे माचिस के डिब्बों की तरह दिखती है। तो ऊपर से जब आप देखते हैं तो आपको बहुत क्रिस्टल क्लियर लगता है। या आपने अगर जीपीएस से मैप देखा होगा तो उसमें आप देखते रही वाह, ये तो सब कुछ दिख रहा बहुत आसानी से। इसी को मैं कह रहा हूं कि यू हैव टू रीड सो मेनी टाइम्स कि आपको एक तस्वीर दिखनी चाहिए, आपको एक पिक्चर दिखनी चाहिए, आपको समझ में आना चाहिए अच्छा हो क्या रहा है नेशनल मूवमेंट, क्या चल क्या रहा है, कितने पार्टिसिपेंट्स हैं, पार्टिसिपेंट्स मींस कितने तरह से मूवमेंट ओरिएंट हो रही है। And when you have a bird's eye view of the next movement, then you will be able to answer questions which I have listed in this theme. Elaborating on this aspect, national movement. When you read, you will get to know that national movement, or if I can say this word, awakening. So when national movement or national awakening started somewhere around 1870s, gradually it led to the emergence of the national movement in a very organized manner. And when it all developed, then this movement or awakening started contributing to what? To the working class. Then it did contribute for the awakening among the working class. It did contribute for awakening among the peasants. It did contribute awakening among tribals. Princely states. And when this national movement started creating an awakening awareness among peasants, or you can say working class or people living in the princely states, then you will find what after some years, means 10, 15, 20 years, this working class which emerged, firstly there were simply workers, there was no feeling of consciousness. Then this working class started shaping the course of the national movement. You will get to know that national movement started adopting the issues concerning the working class. Then peasants led to, means this movement led to the peasant awakening, and then peasant movement started impacting the national movement. First it led to the upliftment of the women, then women issues started pressurizing the national movement. Same is the case with the tribals. So I will say what, if you can have a bird's eye view, it's basically two-way interaction. It's not only one-way interaction. Two-way interaction means it's not that national movement alone had contributed to the cause of the peasants or working class and they did not impact. Yes, they did impact. They did impact the national movement. So you'll start reading and you'll get to know that even national movement or Congress, Indian National Congress, started getting influenced from all those issues concerning the peasants. This is the third theme. Fourthly, the fourth theme, economic aspects under the British rule. And here you will have questions on, say for example, deindustrialization. Here you will have questions regarding impact of the land revenue settlement. So these things will. The rest of, there cannot be any sure shot prediction, there cannot be any guesswork. So apart from this, normally one question may take or may come from anywhere. So these are the various themes regarding modern Indian history for the civil services mains examination, GS mains examination, which where questions are asked in the paper GS paper 1. Now as far as prelims part is concerned, as such there is no particular theme, but yes, in the prelims part, in the degree of importance, prelims modern history. Okay. So in the order of degree of importance, I can say as usual national movement, secondly peasant movement or peasant tribal movement, the third will be reform movement, leaders. There means the highest importance had to be given to the national movement, then peasant and tribal or reform movement. Apart from this, there will be questions. One, normally there will be question putting the events in chronological order. So until unless you have a clear picture, means you haven't gone through the complete historical process, you cannot answer those questions which will come under this segment, like 4 incidents, 4 events given to you, and you have to put those things in a chronological order. And in the last 7 years, I am going through the paper, so I have seen, means I did not find any question regarding Anglo-Maratha War or Anglo-Sikh War or Anglo-French War. So of late UPSC had, I think, like that they have not been asking questions on the various wars, expeditions as far as modern Indian history is concerned. But I did not say that you have to study, you just go through once so that you can have a continuum, you can have a continuity that how the things are moving in the modern history. But when exam will come, then you have to read the book and repeatedly try to read and revise multiple times, and then if you have lesser time, you can strategize your preparation according to the areas which I have marked here, which I have told you here that these are the various themes. So you have, if you are left with very less time, then you can put your importance or put your, you can say, emphasis on these various themes. Now the last thing about this part is the source. So books or sources, books and sources. So here, first of all, old NCERT. When I say old NCERT, it's 12th standard NCERT, 12th standard NCERT. And author, if you are confused who is the writer, then author is Bipin Chandra. Secondly, you can read the book on modern history by the institution, means the institution which had come out with a book, NEXT IAS. It's also a book beautifully written and beautifully presented. You will not feel bored. The third is India's struggle for independence. And again, the writer is same, Bipin Chandra. It's a bit bulky, but I will tell you here the important chapters also. If you are not willing to study the entire book. Otherwise, for once you can read the entire book, and after reading once you can prioritize the chapters. So chapters will be from 7 to 24 and then 27 to 29. After this, if you are not able to answer, say for example 1 or 2 questions in any way, and for that matter I think or I believe that some kind of you can say interaction with the teacher is required. So rest of the things, in case of class you will not miss. If somebody is joining here, then you will not miss a single aspect. Other than that, if by any compulsion, if somebody is not able, in case if somebody is not able to join because of some issues on the home front or the professional front, then this is the entire way through which you can prepare for prelims as well as mains exam for the modern history part. So that's all, class. We'll meet in some other videos regarding medieval history and the post-independence history. So thank you very much. All the best.